Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Saturday, September the 17th. That's a lot of S's. 2022, and this is Flosstube number 21. If you are new to my channel, I would like to give a great big hi there and hello to you. Welcome. I hope you like what I have to show you. If you do like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. I post about every 2 weeks. Hopefully going to start throwing in a couple extra videos here and there. And if you are returning, I would like to welcome you back. Welcome to the chaos. This is a channel about my cross stitching. I do a wide variety of, God, I'm saying a lot, sorry. I do a wide variety of different types of patterns, from tiny ones to giant ones and everything in between, and lots of different styles. I do some samplers. Now I do some monochrome. I do projects with, like, you know, as little as 13 colors and some upwards of over 200 colors. So yeah, huge variety. If you're into the FFOs, the fully finished objects, this channel is not for you. I'm sorry. You can watch by all means, but don't be expecting me to say, I finished this one, because that ain't gonna happen. I do a lot of stitching. I get a lot of progress, but because I change my projects so often, I typically will pick a whip and work on it for one day, and then I put it aside and I pick another whip and I work on that for one day. I can't. I've tried. I cannot just work on one project from start to finish. I think 2 days is my limit for how many times I can work on one in a row. I can work on one for multiple times throughout the week if I really want to, but I cannot do it multiple days in a row. So I get a lot of stitching done on a lot of different projects. So I'm making progress on them, but because of the sheer size of the project, some of my projects, and the amount of projects I have, the amount of whips I have, I don't really finish a whole lot. So anyway, I have a lot to show you today. We are in the middle of Start It All September. That is an event I'm doing with one of the groups on Facebook that I'm in, where you start a new project every day in the month of September. So I have all new starts to show you today. No whips, just all new starts. And I also received my EXPO order a couple days ago. So excited. I got a bunch of new patterns. I got some needle minders, stuff like that. And so I'm going to show you that today as well. And I have a pile of projects that I'm going to show you that will probably be new starts. None of my EXPO orders are going to be, like, none of my patterns I got from EXPO are going to be in my new start set, or Start It All September, because I don't have fabric for them. However, another friend of mine is doing New Start November. Same thing, new start every day the month of November. That was the original plan, was to do New Start November. And we talked about it in August, and I didn't want to wait until November. So I suggested Start It All September. So we're going to do both. Mr. Whiskers is sitting here. You want to say hi? This is my cat, one of my cats. I have two. He looks pissed off. That's just his face. He's like me. He's purring. I put him down, and he's going to stay right there. So, anywho, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to show you is, what do you want to see first? You want to see all the starts first? Do you want to see the EXPO patterns? I'm going to show you the stuff I got first. So I am on Mystic Fabrics, like Misty from Mystic Fabrics. I am on her Facebook page, and she went to EXPO, and basically on her Facebook page, she was like kind of putting up albums of what was there, and we would say, me please. None of us were really paying attention to how many times we said, me please. So this was the thing, this needle minder right here is the one that got me to start getting some patterns, because of course you can't just buy one thing. I don't know if it's going to focus, if you can read that, but it says, "Onward, Buttercup, there's fuckery to spread." So I wasn't going to get anything. I was going to be good. And then I saw this and I really loved it. And then that's what started my downward spiral. So I got that one. And then, oh, this is from Accoutrement Designs. And then these two needle minders. So I got 3 needle minders. These two are from My Big Toe Designs. And they are, I don't know how they're, like, what's on the bottom. Like, if it's like a little picture. You can't see that. What am I doing? Let me take it out of the plastic. So I'm going to take it out anyway once I'm done. Let's see if you can see that. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can see it very well. But it is, I told Misty to pick up 2 random ones for me. I can't even see what it is, but it's very pretty. And it's like in a little bottle cap kind of thing. And then the other one, also from My Big Toe Designs, is this one here. It's not focusing, so it's going to be a little blurry. And yeah, but that's okay. You get the idea. So same type. It's kind of like a reminiscent of like a bottle cap. It's like raised up, but it's really pretty. I like it. So there's, oh, now they're all sticking together. Okay, so there's those. I got some needles, and it's the last thing before. This is also from Accoutrement Designs. This is a bead case. I got it in green. They had all different colors, but this side here is a sticky, it's not, I mean, it's not gonna hang off my finger, but this side is sticky, and you put your beads on it so that they don't roll all over the place, and this side is magnetic for your needle. Purring super loud. So I don't have any, I have some projects that I'm going to be using beads. I just haven't gotten to the point that I need to bead them yet. So I gotten this just because I was like FOMO, you know, fear of missing out. And then I realized I'm like, oh, I'm actually going to need that in the future. So I'm glad I got it. Okay, on to the patterns that I got. One of these in here was an EXPO exclusive. It was only available to people who were buying stuff off of EXPO. I don't remember which one it was. I know it was a Halloween pattern. It might have been this one. I don't remember. But this is from Little Robin Designs, and it's called Halloween Feather Tree. You know, let me just pull this out. I'm going to pull these out of the plastic because it's like a bit of a glare. The lighting isn't very good today because it's kind of cloudy outside because, again, I live in Florida and it rains like every day in the afternoon. So I have all my lights on in my living room. So this is Halloween Feather Tree. I think this was the EXPO exclusive. I could be completely wrong, but this is going to be 94 by 140, 94 wide by 143 high. And this calls for a mix of, looks like Gentle Arts, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. Oh, here it is over here. Oh yeah, I was right. But it also has DMC equivalents. I don't have any of those threads that the specialty threads. So I'm debating if I'm going to get them or if I'm going to just do it in DMC because I have a lot of DMC. So yeah, I was realizing I don't really have a whole lot of actual Halloween patterns. So that's kind of what my focus was when I was getting patterns. I'm going to put these down here. The next one that I got is from Erica Michaels, and this is All Hallows Eve, and it's kind of like one of them Scrabble tile things. And this is game board design is kind of how she phrased it. The size is 120 by 154. And then they also have it where you can do a drum and a berry. So if you do the berry, it's 127 by 72. And if you do the drum, it's 190 by 35. And this is using Weeks Dye Works floss for the model. And they have DMC alternatives if you don't want to use Weeks Dye Works. So there's that one. I'll put this here because this is in a weird plastic sleeve, so I'm gonna put that over there. Okay. The next one is from Puntini. I don't know if I said that right. Is it Puntini? I don't know. But this was a designer that I just recently discovered, and I'm really digging her stuff. This is called Happy Halloween. That's what it looks like. The design is 136 by 137. And I love this part. On the back, it tells you, like, you know, the threads used and the count and everything. It says, so it tells you what fabric she used, right? And it says fabric used, 28 count Cashel Zweigart hand painted I had in my stash. I am sorry, but I am not able to be more accurate. That sounds like something I would do. And she used DMC and threads from Rami's Creations. So that's what that one looks like. And then, oh, I got quite a few of hers. I have like 3 of them. This is another one from her, Puntini, and it says, when I think of Halloween. Look at that, isn't that cute? I love all the little, like, you know, the hat on the L and the little jack-o'-lanterns and the ghosts, the I and the O, the eyeball and the O, and the little candy corns. This is 132 by 52, and it uses DMC. So I'm excited to stitch that one. Anybody else, it'll be a really quick stitch because it's like letters and then some little character things. Me, 2 Halloweens I'll go through before I get it done. Okay, this next one is from her again. I think it's just these 3 that I got from her. This is Craft Supplies and Other Lies series. So it says, I will not buy craft supplies this month, and other lies I tell myself. I was like, I have to get that one because I'm always buying stuff. But she has, there's like a whole series. I've seen other ones that are, and other lies I tell myself. So she's got a whole little series on that. And this is 103 by 63, and it uses DMC. And so what I'll do is with the designers themselves, I'm going to try to link Misty's Facebook page. You have to answer some questions. But, you know, Misty, from Mystic Fabrics, she dyes fabric. So I'm going to link her website because I have a few pieces of her fabric that I absolutely love. So I'm going to link her website. I'm going to try to link her Facebook page. And then I'm going to try to see if I can get a website or some type of, because like Puntini, she has an email, and let me see. She has an Instagram. So I'm going to try to link her Instagram down below as well. But I believe that I've seen her charts on like 1-2-3 Stitch and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that they probably have them in your LNS if you have one close by. This one is from Dirty Annie's. And it is called Fat Pants. I love all the patterns. I think this one is my favorite one. It says, Happy Thanksgiving. Get your fat pants ready. So this is 104 by 145. What did I say? What did I say? 104 by 145. Yeah. And it uses Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Colorworks. And again, I don't have any of those threads. So I have to figure out if I'm going to break down and go get them, or if I'm going to try to do a conversion to something I already have. This next one is from, it's called Cafe and Caffeine. And it's from Samplers Revisited. And it's basically kind of, it's one pattern, but they kind of divided it into two, so you can do cafe and caffeine. But it spells out cafe and caffeine with the periodic table, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought of my cousin. I was messaging her on Facebook the other day, and I sent her a photo of it. She's not into cross stitching whatsoever, but she's a chemistry teacher, and I thought she would enjoy that. So they are, do they have the sizes? Yeah. So the cafe one, the one up here, is 103 by 60, and the design area for caffeine is 262 by 60. It doesn't give you any floss colors because it tells you that the things were stitched on 36 count linen over 2 using 1 strand of DMC floss. It says you will need 2 skeins, and you may choose your favorite colors of floss and linen for your home decor. So they're like, you know, they're basically telling you, here's the pattern, just take it and run with it with your colors, whatever you feel like doing. So there's that one. And then, I told you I got a lot of stuff. This one is from My Big Toe Designs, and I might be able to show this one in the thing. It says cat sleeve paw prints, and the pattern says cat sleeve paw prints on our hearts and claw marks everywhere else. And this is 63 by 95, so not a very big one because it's, you know, words and stuff. This should stitch up super quick. And the threads are Weeks Dye Works. Oh, and there's also buttons. Yeah, there's buttons on there that they say you can get from Just Another Button Company. And if your preference is to stitch this design without the buttons, I've charted additional paw prints in the place of the buttons. No additional thread colors are needed for these to be stitched. So, this next one is called Halloween Letters. It is from Primrose Cottage Stitches. So it's got Haunted House, All Hallows Eve, October 31st, Witch's Brew, Eeks and Shrieks, No Tricks, Just Treats. And they, as you can see, they emphasized letters throughout the thing to spell out Halloween. And this is 124 by 120, and it uses Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC, but they also give you DMC conversions for all the other colors. And I'm really excited about this one. This is Gingerbread Smalls 2022 from Twin Peaks Primitives. So it's essentially like 9 patterns in one packet. And what struck me, I think I'm actually, sometimes I try to just use whatever fabric I want as opposed to what's called for. But I kind of want to use what's called for because I'm really digging it on the blue. It's stitched on like a 28 count blue. Where's the fabric? Maybe it's on the, hang on one moment, please. Here it is. 28 count Zweigart Lugana blue. And I'm really liking that blue. Let me show you again. And they're all pretty small. I think they average about 95 by 63. That's how big that little gingerbread caravan thing is. Yeah, they're about the same size. I mean, some, you know, bigger, smaller, whatever, but they're kind of average the same size. So I don't know if I would finish them as pillows or not. I might. I don't know. I actually have to finish them first. I mean, you know how I am. I've got 2 finishes that are just like folded up right now. Completed 2 projects in the year of 2022, and neither one of them are fully finished. Although I know what I want to do with one of them, I just have to give it to my mom to finish for me. These next 2 are from Kitty Me Designs by Pamela Kellogg. This one is a mandala. I don't know. I say mandala. I know some people say mandala. Morning Glory. Isn't that pretty? I'm really liking that one. This is, I think I'm going to try to stick with the called for on this too. It's a 28 count Lugana, 2/2, so equivalent to 14 count. And it's stitched, the color is dirty, the fabric. And I've seen a few things being stitched on dirty, like dirty Aida and stuff, and I'm really liking that color. It makes the lighter colors, like the whites and the pinks and stuff, it really makes them pop on that dirty Aida. I mean, this isn't Aida, and it calls for all DMC. Yeah, all DMC. The size is 135 by 135. And let me see just real quick. There's some back stitching in it, but I was just looking to see if there were any like specialty stitches if you wanted to stitch it on Aida, and it's upside down, on Aida instead of, if you're not comfortable with like the linen. Oh, that's still not the right way. Is this oriented right? I think so, yeah. It looks like it's all like full crosses. And I think that's how this one's going to be too. So I like that one. Of course I did, because I bought it. This one is a sunflower one. Isn't that gorgeous? It's absolutely beautiful. This one is stitched, the model is stitched on a white Lugana. It's 125 by 125, and this one also uses all DMC. This one does have some specialty stitches. This one has satin stitches for the leaves and the flowers. Not all throughout, but oh, the flowers on the these flowers here, all around here, have satin stitches. And the leaves, yeah, all the flowers and the leaves in the perimeter here, those are all satin stitches. That's gonna be fun. Oh, and there is one Krennic, antique gold. And some 2 blends, it looks like, but the blends are DMC. So there's that one. Last one. This one is from Praiseworthy Stitches, and this is Esmeralda's Academy of Charms. And I think it's just the printing, because when I saw it in the album, like for the EXPO thing, it looked better. So I think it's just the way that this printed. This is actually stitched on, the model was stitched on a fabric from Mystic Fabrics. So I think I'm going to try to stick to that, because when I saw like a kind of like an in-person photo, if you will, it did look better than the rendering from the photo printing. And this is 268 by 180, and it has it uses Weeks Dye Works, but it has a DMC conversion, and it also uses Mill Hill beads and Kreinik and buttons. So that's going to be a lot to get together to do that one. I feel like a trip to my LNS is in my very near future. All right. It's going to be a couple weeks before I can go, though, because I don't want to go today, because I want to stitch. Because it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. And my closest L&S is like 45 minutes from me. I don't want to have time, so I might go maybe in a couple weeks. Okay, that was all my stuff. My haul, if you will. 1 second. All right, on to the new starts. This is in no particular order. I'm just grabbing what's near me. So, regarding the new starts, last video, I showed a bunch of different ones I could potentially start, and I asked you guys which ones you would want to see on the next video. And whatever ones, there's one that will be my start for today. Other than that, I was able to start every project that you requested. So I asked, you responded, now I'm delivering. This first one is, I'm calling it Christmas Reindeer. There's no name. It literally, I even did my little Google translator to translate this, and it says cross-stitch kit in Russian. So it doesn't really have a name, so I'm calling it Christmas Reindeer. And all of these I got about 500-600 stitches on. Almost all of them. So make sure I have this oriented the right way. I do have a thread hanging on this because I didn't want to waste the thread. But I had to stop for the night because I was so exhausted. So that's the thread. Okay. So that's where I'm at on that one. God bless. I think I would have, you'd think I would have done this before. I know how to show something. So that's where I'm at on that. I did a center start on it. And so this right here is the start of an antler going up. So I started here, and it's this antler that's starting to make its way up. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So when I come back to this one, I'm going to continue on with the antler. Yeah. And I'm liking the floss that came in the kit. It was a kit that I got on Etsy. It's got like this little string of fake pearls, and those are going to go down here. So I got to make sure I cut them correctly. Hopefully I do. If not, my ass is leaving it off. But I'm digging that. Let me get this back in here before I lose it. I'm digging this floss that came with it because it's like, I think I've seen on other Flosstubers channels, I think it's the Riolas kits maybe, that come with like this synthetic type. It's not quite silk, but it's not cotton. It's like this synthetic blend almost. And I feel like that's what this is because it's super, super smooth, but it's not like silk. And it's really shiny and it's really pretty. And it doesn't like, kind of like fray or like beat up like some flosses do when you use them. So there's one of them. And then this one I worked on last night. This is my little Christmas Penguin Dimensions kit. It's really tiny. I got 600 stitches on this little guy right here. And see how small that is? That's where I'm at with it. So I started in the middle of it because Dimensions is really bad about giving you extra fabric. They only usually give you like a 1-inch margin. So I started in the middle. This is the bottom of the scarf here, working its way out. It's going to have letters in it to spell out Merry Christmas. Whoopsie, sorry. It's going to have letters in it to spell out Merry Christmas. I'm waiting until I get more of like all the scarf done so that when I do the letters, because the letters are some of the See how there's like little block spaces in here? The spaces are full crosses, and then the letter itself is like kind of backstitched on, and it's kind of alternated throughout the whole thing. So I wanted to wait until I got more of this done so that I'm not having to cut a new piece of floss every time I'm going to do a letter. I'll just like do the letter and then I'll just move over to another spot. And then I started on the little guy's like wing right here. Yeah, that's his wing, and he'll be holding a little letter down here. His hat. All right, so there's that one. And then I'm showing you my kits first because they're all in like designer bags here. This next one is another kit, Home for the Holidays by Dimensions. And I did a middle start on this one as well, again, because of the size of the fabric. I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of room. And I got, I think it was about, I had, for the amount that I've stitched like in the past, I've had a really slow stitching week. 2 weeks. Okay. This is where I'm at so far with it. So again, I started in the middle. So this is the door here, and this is the basket, and that's like a bow. Oh, you can actually see it. I can't really tell on in real life, but you can see it better on camera. There's the bow and the holly and berries and stuff. Whatever this is, fruit basket. I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but anyway. And I was kind of hoping, because it was a regular Dimensions kit, that there wasn't going to be a lot of like with the Dimensions Gold collection, you have like 4 strands half cross, two strands of this color and 1 strand of this color, and you're going to do a half cross and yada, yada, yada. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case with the regular Dimensions kit. Yeah, no. First, like 3 colors I picked were like 4 strands, half cross. I'm like, so anywho, there is that one. Get back in the bag. All right. This project bag was made by my mother. Got a handle on it. And it's divided. So I got all my patterns on the front and then all my projects in here. All right. Let's see if I can match these up, because I was kind of just like tucking them in here until because I had the great idea of, oh, let me put all of my starts in one spot. Oh yeah, I have one more kit. All my starts in one spot so that it'll be easier to get to. So what just hit my hand? Maybe it was the corner. I felt like a needle just poked my hand, but I didn't have a needle in this. So must have been the corner of the fabric. This is another small little kit from Dimensions called Believe. And I think I got about 600 stitches on this one as well. Not very big, as you can see. So there's where I'm at on that one. It's turning out really nice so far. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, looks good so far. Very pretty. All right, so there's that. All right, so let's see, where are we at here? Oh, all right, so this one here, Coffee Gnome. I'm not going to show it for super long because it's not a mock-up. So maybe if I hold it way back here, you won't be able to tell what's what. So Coffee Gnome, and I am stitching this on all these little gnomes I'm about to show you. I picked up a bunch of rolls of colored Aida at Joann's. Them and I think Michael's maybe. I've been getting mine at Joann's, but they started selling DMC Charles Craft 14 count Aida in different colors. So I've been picking one or two up every time I go. So that's what these are being stitched on. So this one's kind of like almost looks like a very pale chocolate, milk chocolate. Like when you're trying to make chocolate milk and you don't put enough syrup in it. That's what this reminds me of. So there's where I am on that. So I started up here in the middle with like the bottom of the hat, and then this is part of like the part that goes on the forehead, the rim. And then this is her, it's a girl gnome, I think, because it's got braids. So this is part of a braid, and then this is the top of the cup of coffee. This one might be closer to, I don't know, I have it all written down, but I didn't really pay much attention to what I did and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think they're all, there's a couple I know that are more than that, but I think they're all about 600. Okay, this one here is, let me pull up the right pattern. I believe this was it. Yeah. So this one was actually my pick. This is why one of the new starts the new start I'll be doing today was one of the ones that you guys picked, because I wanted to do this one. This is Day to Night North America by Lars Stewart. It's charted by Pain Free Crafts. That's what it's going to look like when I'm done. I am stitching this on a 25 count, easy count Lugana. Yeah, 25 count, easy count Lugana. 1/1, full cross. This is where I'm at on it. I think I got about 400 stitches on this one. Maybe more. I feel like it was more. Now, 400 stitches. So that's where I'm at on that one. I'll be excited to pull this out again once I actually start working on my whips. And this next one. Oh, so the coffee gnome. I didn't tell you where I got that one. If you watch my other videos, I say it on there, but the coffee gnome, I didn't say where I got it because there's been a little bit of confusion on my part on the, what's the word I'm looking for? I bought like 6 gnome patterns from this one company, this one shop on Etsy. And I was trying to show my mom the shop because she loved the gnome patterns, and I realized that some of those patterns weren't available anymore. And then just for some reason, like the peacock gnome, I tried searching for that one, and the exact same pattern showed up on another shop. So then I was like, well, who stole the pattern from who? Did the company I bought it from steal it from this other company, and that's why it got taken down? I have no clue, because the shop that it's currently on right now, the designer for that shop was also a designer on the shop that I bought it from. Not really sure what the deal is with that, so I'm not doing all that mess. Okay, so I'm not going to link that shop down below. But this one I will. This is Maya Stitch. She's a Ukrainian designer. This from Maya Stitch. This isn't called Maya Stitch. This is I'm calling it Flower Gnome. I think that's what she calls it too. And I am stitching this on one of those rolls of the DMC colored fabric. This is a 14 count opalescent Aida in like this light pink color. And I think I got about 600 stitches on this one. I got a good amount of progress on that cute little thing, huh? I think I did good on that. What I will say is I was noticing as I was coming down this way, I realized that when I was trying to fill in this flower over here, that I got something with the colors incorrect over here. And so this is off. So that's when I jumped up here and started doing this. So when I come back to it, I got to pull these out and fix this right here because it's going to throw off the flowers, I think, if I don't fix it. I think in this part here, it's like down one too far. So I have to look and see if I can just work with it or if I'm going to have to pull it out. So there's that one. And this next one is, where is it? Checking the List. This is charted by Charting Creations. The art is by Marcelo Corti. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I am super duper excited to see this one come to life. That's just so cool. A friend of mine on one of my Facebook, on one of my stitching groups, she's done another one that's in this style where it's like kind of that gray, white, grayscale background with Santa in color, and it looks really cool. So I'm excited to see this one. It's 280 by 419. I am stitching this on a, I'm looking at the fabrics, I don't remember, 25 count, easy count Lugana, 1/1 full cross. This one I got in, really? I must have done this on a day off. I got in 1,400 stitches. Yeah, so I got 1,400 stitches on this bad boy. And down here is the start of, let me pull up the PDF again. So it'll really kind of start coming to life more once I get more stitches in, but that right there, where the stitches are kind of starting to break up a bit, that is that top corner. Come on. Right there. So there's that one. Then my next one, put this down here so I won't show it again. My next one is another gnome from the unnamed Etsy shop. This is Hot Cocoa Gnome. I had to change some colors on this one. All the other ones were fine, but the colors on this one, you see how it's like red and black and brown and everything, and that's what you think of when you think of like that kind of, oh, it has a name too, that plaid, that Christmas plaid look. And it was wanting me to do like the white part of the candy cane and the cocoa and stuff here. It was wanting me to do it in like gray, and then it had like this, it had 606 and 900 for the red part, which was like kind of orangey. I didn't like that. So I changed it to, what did I change it to? Oh, I do have this one in Pattern Keeper. I could have done that. I could have shown you the mock-up of it. Mock-up. There. And I changed the colors to like 321 and 498, I believe. And this is just one of those rolls of the DMC Charles Craft fabric. That's where I'm at on that. I got a total of 1,080 stitches on this one. So that's, yeah. That's where I'm at on that one. All right. Oh, where's it at? Which one's this? So this next one is from Kooler Design Studio. I have the spring and the summer started. This one is the winter sampler. Artwork is by Sandy Orton. And I think I got over 1,000 stitches on this. That's where I'm at on that. Wait. Fuzz. That's where I'm at on that one. I started in the top left-hand corner. I'm still debating if I'm going to backstitch as I go, like as I finish sections, if I'm going to backstitch or if I'm just going to kind of do all the cross stitching and then go back and backstitch, because you know how much I love to backstitch. But it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, at what point do I stop? Like, I don't like wasting thread too much. So it's like, I don't want to do like 3 backstitches and then have to stop because I need to stitch more. You know what I mean? But then at what point do I stop and do the backstitching? So that's where I'm at on that one. I'm stitching this on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco 2/2. And I haven't been telling you the sizes of everything. This is 168 by 224. I don't know if you guys care. Do you care? If you care, tell me. I'll do it. If you don't, whatever. This next one is another, not name in the shop, Bead Gnome. And I'm stitching this on the Charles Craft 14 count Ada. It's a printed one because it's white on the back. And it's kind of like this brown yellow color. It's hard to see with this lighting situation that I have going on right now. But this is where I'm at on that. So I started on the hat and I got one of his little antenna. And it'll kind of come more to life once I do the back stitching, because then I'll be able to put little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexagons. 6-sided is a hexagon, right? Octagon is 8. Hexagon, I think. It'll look more like bee-like once I put those on there. I think I got 800 stitches on that. I'm not sure. I counted because of my games, but I didn't write it down. I was trying to just get this filmed, so I didn't really write down what I did. This next one here is from, I've got 2 more. This next one here is from Kooler Design Studios. This is the last sampler from them that I have to do. Autumn sampler. Design is by Sandy Orton. It's the same size as the winter one. I started in the top left-hand corner. This one is also 168 by 224. It is also being stitched on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco 2/2. That's where I'm at with that one so far. I think I did about the same. I think it's about 800, maybe 600 stitches. So that's where I'm at on that. And my last one is from Heaven and Earth Designs, Birdhouse Gardens. I think this was the very first one I worked on, like right after I got done with my last video. I think that's when I pulled this one out. Artwork is by Ciro Marchetti, and this is, again, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is 600 by 420, has 90 colors in it. I'm stitching this on, I think, a 25 count, easy count Lugana, and I'm doing, no, I think this is a 20 count. 20 count, easy count Lugana, because I'm doing this 2/1. Full cross. That's where I'm at on that. I think I can tell you how many stitches I did on it, because I haven't worked on it since then. Yeah, I got 1,200 stitches on this one. So there's that. That's all my new starts. That's a lot of talking. All right, so time for the fake plans. I have, I need to eat something. I was kind of like, oh, I don't feel good. I need to eat. I have a lot of projects that I'm going to do. I think I have more than 14, so I might have y'all help me out again. The project I believe I'm going to start today is because my friend Jennifer asked for this one. Holiday Chalkboard. This is from the Cross Stitch Studio. And instead of this one, I did Day to Night North America. So I'll do this one today because she asked for it. This is one that has 13 colors. I will be stitching that in black. Or I will be stitching the black on it. I also have this one from Maya Stitch. And I'll be stitching this on this kind of like blue-green roll of fabric. And I'm trying to like not stick my head in the camera so much. And then I also have this little spa gnome with the cucumbers on its eyeball, where its eyeballs would be. And I'm going to be doing this on like a pinkish purplish fabric. These are all like 14 count. And this one is a, I'm just going to do this. You know what? Whatever. It's 3 gnomes, autumn gnomes. That's from Maya Stitch. And I'm going to do it on this fiddler's cloth. I'm trying to keep the pattern with the fabric because I noticed, I was watching my last video and I was like, I'm going to stitch this on this fabric. I'm going to stitch this on this fabric. And I don't know if I did all that. Maybe I did. Maybe I did keep it together. Because this is another one, gingerbread gnome. And I have fiddler's cloth with that as well. So I think maybe I did stick it together. So there's another one. I said before, I had a lot of gnome patterns. I went like gnome crazy for a bit. And then this one is from Maya Stitch, and it's a series of 3 it's 3 Christmas gnomes. There's one, they all go together. But the way she has her thing set up, I can't print the mock-up. Then there's the other one. And there's the last one. It's braids coming out of its head. But I only have 2 hands, so I can't show all 3 pages. Let's try it like this. So those 2 go side by side. Wait. Like that, right? Maybe I can. Like that. They all go together. I'm going to do it on 28 count Monaco. I have to double check the measurements. I think I'm going to be able to do it like 2/2. I believe. I have been known to miscount. So there's that one. And this one, it's too many pages. I can't show you the thing, but basically it's, I'll show you this page. So it's like a broom and then some pumpkins, and then it's got like a witch's hat and a candle. I'm gonna stitch it on this kind of gray brown, that light, like kind of milk chocolate looking. It's not milk chocolate, but that's what I'm calling it. Like a bad milk chocolate. Very poorly made milk chocolate. This fabric here, I completely forgot that I bought a stitch along from Stitchonomy, the Halloween mystery stitch along. So if anybody has purchased that pattern, like you'll know what I'm talking about. It's the frame is released cabinet. And it says cabinet of oddities, maybe? Like, oh, that's odd. Like oddities. I think that's what or cabinet of curiosities. It's cabinet of curiosities. So anyway, I got this fabric to stitch it on. It called for milk chocolate Ada. That's what they stitched theirs on, but I couldn't find, it's like sold out, I think, because so many people are like doing it. So, and I was debating on dyeing my own fabric, and then I chickened out and I decided not to. So I found that, and it's gonna fit, and I like the color of it, so I'm gonna do it on this. So yeah. And then the last few things that I have are these two kits. This is a Design Works kit, and so is this one. The art is done by Krista Hamrick for both of them. I don't have anybody in mind that I'm stitching them for. I just have a strong pull towards these alphabet things where like every letter stands for something. So this one is for a baby, and this one is for a wedding. Again, I don't have anybody in mind that I'm going to give these to. I just thought they were cute. I really like them. And then, let me see. Okay, and then I have 3 more. This is definitely more than what I'm going to need for Start It All September. Whoops, wrong pin number. All right, the last 3 that I have are Gothic House Monochrome from Stitching Jewels Design. Isn't that cool? I really like that. And I'm gonna stitch this on a 25 count Stormy Night Lugana, and this is a printed fabric. I got it on 123 Stitch. I don't remember who printed it though. I don't want to say the wrong name, so I'm not even going to say it, but I know it's 25 count Stormy Night because that's what the sticker says. So I'll be stitching that on that one. And then my next one is another design by Stitching Jewels, and it is, where is it? The Library Monochrome. That right there. And I will be stitching this on a 25 count Illusion Blue Lugana. It's like a pale blue. Pale blue. Hard to see with this lighting, but it's a pale blue. It'll look good. And then the last one that I have to, that I think I'm going to be, I have another one too. I think my fabric is over there. This is Awesome Myth by Stitch Rovia. It says, be so awesome, people think you're a myth. And it's got a narwhal. You know, it's funny. I didn't know that narwhals really existed until I had kids. And my older son, when he was a toddler, he would watch Octonauts on Disney Junior. And for anyone who doesn't know, the Octonauts are like this group of like undersea explorers, and like it's like a little polar bear and a cat, and I think like Professor Octopus or so. It's been years since they watched it, but they would educate the kids on sea creatures and sea life and stuff. And one of their episodes, they featured a narwhal. I'm like, that doesn't exist. And I Googled it. I'm like, oh my God, they're like undersea unicorns. Anyway, I'll be stitching this on a 18 count opalescent Ada that I picked up on 123 Stitch. You can kind of see the glittery. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And then I have one more that's a bigger piece of opalescent Ada that I'm going to do. Where is it? It is a sampler 124 from 2x2 Stitch Art. This one, I have the fabric. I'm debating on what I'm going to stitch it in because I kind of want to pick a color for it. And I don't know how I want to do my colors yet. If I'm gonna do one color, if I'm gonna do multiple colors, if I'm gonna do multiple colors, how do I want to put the colors in there? Like, do I do a border with the darker? Do I do, you know what I mean? So anyway, so there's those. That was a lot. If there's anyone in particular that you want to see, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll get that worked in. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick one at random and just work on it. So I will be doing new starts every day. So the next video, I was checking my calendar, and the next video that I do will be on October 1st. So that will be concluding my new starts, my Start It All September. So my next video will again be all new starts, and my cat's scratching, my other cat's scratching at the window because she wants to come in. So it'll be another video of all new starts, and yeah, I will have, by the end of the month, I will have 85 whips. Yeah. So my fake plans will be to just pick one every day at random and work on it or start it. What I was thinking about was how I could like kind of get more progress in on my big projects, and how I could get some finishes on my smaller ones. I'm like scratching my cat over here. That's why my arm keeps moving. He's loving it too. He's like, oh, purr, purr, purr. So I was thinking about how I could go about, I can't do a rotation. I have too many whips to pick from. I like to start a lot of things. I counted last week, I think it was. I just counted out of curiosity how many whips how many projects I've started this year. And it was like 34. 34 projects I've started this year, and we're not even done with September. And I'm doing this again in November. So yeah, I'm gonna have a lot. And I was like, well, I would like to finish some stuff, and maybe I should try to come up with a plan of trying to get some stuff done before I start more things, and just add to like this pile of whips, literal pile of whips. So I was thinking about it, and I know some people do a rotation. I've seen some people do like a smaller rotation where they just select like maybe 4 or 5 projects and just rotate through those. And then as they finish one, they put another project in. Well, I mean, if you've seen any of my videos, you know a lot of my projects are really, really big. So what I was thinking about doing in the month of October, I'll try this out. And we'll see if I stick to this. You know how I am with my fake plans. I'm thinking about in the month of October picking one of my large full coverage pieces to be a focus piece, where I work on it 3 times a week. It could be 3 days in a row. It could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I could do 2 days in the beginning of the week, 1 day at the end of the week. Doesn't matter. As long as I work on it 3 times from a Sunday to a Saturday, right? And then I have like 10 projects to pick from. Like I'll have a stack of projects, 10 projects, could be full coverages, could be smaller pieces. I'll have a goal for each one. I've been kind of mulling this over in my head the past couple weeks. Let me know what you guys think. But I'll have 10 projects that I have goals for. If it's like a large full coverage piece, I'll say I want to get like 5,000 stitches, because I do usually stitch quite a bit, right? When like this was a very off time for me where I was only getting 400 or 500 stitches. I usually can stitch about 800 on a weeknight and over 1,000 on the weekends. And depending on the pattern, I've done 1,000 on a weeknight before. But I like all this past week, because of my kids, my money suckers, I didn't get started till after 8 o'clock, and then I have to make myself go to bed around like 12:30, because I have to get up and take them to school and stuff when I have them. So yeah, I've had some really short stitching nights, and I think that's what was making me not really have a lot of like initial progress on my starts. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. My larger full coverage pieces, I'll have a goal of like 5,000 stitches. Once I get to that, and then like my smaller pieces, like my little gnomes and whatnot, I'll say 2,000 stitches or 1,000, depending on the size of the project. Or if it's something like one of my ABC patterns, I'll say complete, with including back stitching. Like, for example, when I do these here, I do the entire thing. Like, I do the back stitching and everything with this type of thing. And so I'll say complete 1 block or complete 2 blocks or something like that. And once I hit that goal, that project comes out of the pile and I grab a new project to replace it. Any project. Like if I do a full coverage, and I get to that goal, I can pull a small project and put it in the pile. And then, I'll do that. And when I pull that project out, say, for example, Honeymoon Sunset, one of my cross stitch studio patterns, I'll pull it out and maybe I'll tell myself that I need to pull at least 2 new projects in before I put that one back into the pile to be pulled in, right? So that I can try to get some progress on all of my whips, even the ones I kind of don't want to work on. And for every 5 goals I meet, I'll either do a new start or I will allow myself to buy a new pattern. And then if I get a finish, like if I finish a project, I'll do 2 new starts or buy 2 patterns or a combination of the 2, any combination of the 2. So it's kind of like, I think some groups are like that where you kind of work from your stash, work your whips, I think I've seen somebody call it, seen a group call it, but yeah, because it's not overwhelming, but so overwhelming is not the right word. I am not overwhelmed. I am not overwhelmed whatsoever. I don't mind the amount of whips I have, but it is getting a little ridiculous. Ridiculous is a better word for it. It's ridiculous how many whips I have. And some of these are really small projects. I should be able to just boom, 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 knock them out of the park at like, yeah. So I think I'll try that for the month of October. And then, so that focus piece part, when I get to the end of the month, that will go into the little whip rotation I have, and I'll pull one of my other large projects out to be my new focus piece. That way I can try to like get as much stitching as possible done on these bigger pieces so I can get through them. Because some of them, like my Catching Rays from Cross Stitch Studio, that thing is over 1 million stitches. It's even working on it every day, it would take me 10 years. So hopefully y'all get to see it when it's done, if you're still here 10 years from now. Oh, anywho, one other thing that I'm going to try to do tomorrow, I am actually going to go on Cross Stitch Studio's website and buy a new pattern. I'm going to buy a small one from them. They do have some small pieces. They're not all like big enough to be a blanket. They do have some like minis and some snippets and stuff, and I'm actually going to buy one because I got a new stand, like a little gooseneck thing to hold my phone, and I'm going to do a parking tutorial. I know it does, I don't always park, but I keep seeing more and more, is there a parking tutorial? Does anyone know a parking tutorial? How do you park? What's it all about? And I feel like I'm a pretty good teacher. I was actually going to be a teacher before I decided to become a nurse. And I've spent the past 17 years educating my patients on different things and knowing how to kind of break it down. Yeah, I've kind of learned how to break stuff down to explain it better to groups of people, you know what I mean? So I want to do a parking tutorial, but I want to start it from the beginning. I don't want to, I've seen some where they talk about it, but then when they show you the how to work it, it's like in the middle of the project. And so it's still confusing to people if you don't know how to start it. Once you know how to start it, it's not hard. It really isn't. It's just when you see it in the midst, like in all of its glory with all the parked threads everywhere, you're like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do. I'd be so lost. You wouldn't be if you knew how to start it from the beginning. So that's kind of what I want to do. And I'm going to try to do that tomorrow with one of my new starts. But I'm going to do the, I wanted to do it on a larger count of fabrics so that it's easier to see, because I already spoke with Betsy at the Cross Stitch Studio, and I told her, I said, I'm not going to show the entire pattern. It would just be a small portion so that I can show people how to use Pattern Keeper to mark where you park your threads and stuff like that. And she gave me permission to do it. She suggested I could use one of the free patterns, but I don't think all the free patterns have, they're not all like full coverage, or if they are, it's like the start of it is like a lot of background, which is like only 1 or 2 colors. And I wanted to show something that had some confetti so that you could see how to park your threads. So I was going to show you what it looked like, but I don't have it yet. I was thinking about doing there's a snippet of like this, some dogs in the back of a pickup truck. I think it's like called Mini Golden Snippet. There's one of just 2, I think they're Golden Retriever or maybe Labrador Retrievers in the back of a truck. And then there's one where it's like a mama dog or daddy dog, I don't know, and then their baby or her babies. And they're both like kind of crops of the original piece. And I think I'm going to get one of those because it's really cute. I've seen it stitched up and it turns out really nice. And so I have a large piece of 14 count Aida. And it's not gridded or anything. Like, I'm going to be showing people how to do this like from the start. I'm not going to grid the fabric. I'm going to show you how to do it ungridded so that people understand. And I'm excited about it. I really am. I don't know if I'll stick with the parking because I really like doing cross country, but I do understand how to do the parking. And I see so many people ask about it. And I think that in some cases it's a really good thing to do. And I would love to help people understand how to do it and what the point of it is, like the purpose behind it. So yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say. Over an hour. I hope you guys had popcorn or something to eat or something to drink. So I think that's everything I had to say. If you're still here, thanks so much for watching. And if you liked what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. The bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. If you guys have any questions about anything, if I can get this tutorial filmed and uploaded, and if you guys think it's helpful to you, I have been stitching for over 30 years. I've done all different kinds of stitching. Not gonna lie, I'm not really so much into the specialty stitches. Not really my bag. Not that I couldn't figure out how to do it, it's just not something I'm really into. But if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to see any types of videos regarding what to do, how to do it, whatever, ask me. And if I know how to do it and I can get the materials to show you, I will do it. Now, again, all this rides on the success of the parking tutorial. So if you guys would like to see anything, let me know. I will see if I can get it done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like what I had to show, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.